your brand strategist, welcomes you to Branding Tuesdays yet again. Now let's talk about stories. Stories are a tool for transmitting information. They predate language and they always manage to endure the test of time. Now, what makes stories special, you may ask? Well, what makes them special are the elements in them that every person can relate to. Now, when it comes to branding, you have to successfully position your brand on a story that enables you to convey the brand's features, benefits, and attributes. And why do I have to do that? Because by doing this, you will link your story to the actual products or services that you're selling. Remember, guys, people don't just buy products and services anymore. They buy experiences, they buy stories. And brand storytelling is an ongoing conversation between you and your customers. Now, your brand's backstory or origin story, as other people call it, is basically the foundation of your brand. It's what came before the product or the service that you're trying to sell. It's basically what your company, what your business went through before it became what it is today. And if you think you don't have a backstory, au contraire, my friend, you do. But if you're wondering about it, that means you're not making enough use of it. And that means that your brand is missing an essential piece of what makes it special. See, building your brand story is essential because it shapes your content marketing strategy, it shapes your social media posting, it shapes your offline marketing as well, your flyers, your promotion materials, everything. So let me give you 3 steps that you need to follow in order to establish and develop your origin story. Trace your origins. What are your motivations for doing what you do? What led you to create this business or this product? What in your life experience gave you the motivation to come up with something different? Here's a great example of a powerful origin story. Ever heard of the Hatfields and McCoys? In case you haven't, those are 2 of the most famous families in the world who basically were famous for the fact that they were always fighting with each other. So them fighting was not newsworthy at all. What was newsworthy though was them creating a whiskey under a joint brand after 150 years of feuding. I'm inspired. Thank you, Daisy, for being so amazing. You're welcome. Differentiate your brand. No need for explaining this one, right? So let's get to the example part. Ever heard of the new Belgium Brewing company? If not, what you need to know is basically that this company started with a guy on a bike in Europe and managed to transform into the biggest brewery in the United States of America. Because their entire branding and marketing efforts, from their live events to their symbols, their logos, everything that they do focuses on the same things. They're very consistent. They focus on bicycling, they focus on a quirky type of fun, they focus on beer, obviously. So the brand managed to develop an origin story that is bigger than just beer. Attach a symbol to your brand. First of all, to get something straight, because people tend to confuse logos and symbols a lot. Technically, logos are words and symbols are pictures, okay? Then there are combination marks which use a mix of logos and symbols to represent your brand, like for instance Starbucks and McDonald's. One of the most iconic logos of all time, the logo of Nike, was actually a combination mark for the longest of time. Fun fact, did you know that Carolyn Davidson, the woman who came up with the logo, actually got paid only $35 for that? She created the famous swoosh in the Nike logo inspired by the Greek goddess of victory called Nike. So the logo basically implied movement and speed. Now, the logo became so iconic that in 1995, the company completely removed the Nike name from it and only left the symbol to represent the brand. That is some powerful stuff. So bottom line, guys, an origin story tells your potential customers who your key players are and why they're different from your competitors. So it gives your brand sort of an organic personality. So think of your origin story as your edited highlights. What are the need to know things about your brand that your potential customers must know the first time that they come in contact with your brand? Now, after you've done the three things that I just mentioned, you will have hopefully captured the essence of your brand story. Congratulations. Now use them as the building blocks for your brand. And by the way, don't just subscribe if you like me. Subscribe if you hate me too, because you know hatred can be turned into love pretty damn quickly.